Hey, welcome back. I have 3 bottles marked A, B, and C, 3 glasses, and an envelope with my wife's initials on it. That can only mean one thing. It's time for a bourbon blind. All right, it's blind night. Not only does this bottle have my wife's initials on it, it also says Base Bourbon Battle, okay? So what I did was went on ahead, because I have Benchmark that I cook with. So I went on ahead and picked up a couple of more base bourbons. A lot of people like and swear by them. I say they're a little watery, but hey, we're gonna put them side by side blind. The first one I have is Evan Williams. Evan Williams is not, it's still a base bourbon, but it's not a 4080. Okay, it's 43%, 86 proof. So it's a little bit stronger, and I have no idea which one's which. Because I had them marked down and my wife just put the labels on them in random order. The second one we have is Jim Beam, and it is a 4080, and Benchmark, which is also a 4080. Now, when I talk about what I call a base bourbon, I'm talking about few noted. You know, they don't have a deep, rich, flavor to them typically, but they're good. They're good base bourbons, and they're good for what they are. I cook with them. Yeah. But so I'm going to try these, and I'm going to try to see if there's even any difference. Now, remember what I said about base bourbons. Oh, and by the way, I was putting together an elliptical earlier, and I stabbed my hand with a utility knife. I was holding a strap, and I was trying to cut a strap, and so there we go. But it's fine. Okay. So what I was saying about base bourbons is they don't care for those barrels as much. They'll have a general warehouse, part of the rick house or whatever. It's basically not even a rick house, it's a warehouse. And they put tons and tons and tons of barrels in there. They probably distill it at really high, like 180 proof. They probably barrel it at around the max 125 proof. And I'm just guessing, because it's the more water you put in, the more impurities you're gonna hide in that bourbon. And then they just put them on the shelf and leave them for a set number of years. When they're ready, they don't even try them. They just pour them in a big vat. They add water until they come down to 80 proof and go, bam, there's your base bourbon. Now, with that said, I'm not gonna say that they're horrible. They're just what they are. So let's go ahead and pour these up. Again, and I poured, look here, I poured, and I made sure I poured them even. I did not get any of them any more than the other. There's no way for me to tell. I try to do that every time. I'll put a little back, put a little more in, whatever, and I get them right on cue. So A, B, and C. And there's not gonna be a whole ton of difference between these. I can tell you that already, because they're all made basically the same way, watered down. So there's A, and we'll leave it sitting over this way. Lower proof, we'll do that right there. I really don't see a lot of difference in color either on these, but that's also the nature of the beast. They are base bourbons, all right? So B we'll leave right here, and C. Grew up drinking these, Jim Beam, Evan Williams, things like that. I say grew up, I mean, I was probably taking snips off of bourbons when I was 15, 16, whatever, out every once in a while. So let me go ahead and see if there's any difference at all. Let me see, I'm gonna leave B right here. Let's see, A, maybe, not really, Nah, I'm not even gonna worry about color. I'm not even gonna worry about color. They're all about the same. This one in my hand now may be a tinge darker. I'm not expecting to get any good legs off these things, but I'm gonna swirl them anyway. Get a little layer in there with that water. All right. Now what's funny about these is Evan Williams Distillery. This is Beam Suntory, Jim Beam Distillery, and this is Buffalo Trace. So we know Buffalo Trace knows how to make bourbon. We know Jim Beam knows how to make bourbon. We know, whatever. So let me go ahead and nose these things. That actually noses like an apple Jolly Rancher. Okay, I just say it's kind of weird. All right, this one's a little more like a darker buttery note. And this one is a little brighter, fruity. Boy, they're hard to pick stuff out of. I swear I'm getting apple Jolly Rancher out of this one though. So that's maybe a little spice kick in there. This one is the buttery one here. And like I said before, you can kind of get some of that musty butter flavor when you water it too much. Yeah, so they're distinctly different. This one's kind of musty with that little spice, little hint of spice kick to it. Man, it's hard to pick much out beyond just what hits you right up front. Yeah. Man, it is tough. I'm gonna start getting the palate wet here. Man, yeah, it's not that good. I'm actually getting a little hint of that apple Jolly Rancher on my palate. I have it stuck in my head now. I've had worse. I would say if you twisted my arm, I'm probably getting a little vanilla out of there. Maybe, there's gonna be no oak in any of these, I don't think. No tobaccos, no leathers, none of that. Boy, that sweet, really super sweet down the middle of the tongue though. Right down the center. I guess some people could like that. Yeah, I mean, but man, if you mix that with anything, it's gone. It's just gone. It might go good with Coke. I don't know, All right, yeah, there's no legs on these. There's just no legs. All right, this is the buttery one. Yep. Okay, this one's not nearly as sweet as this one. All right, this one is more, it's like butter, buttery on the tongue, more caramel. This is more, I'm just gonna call it Jolly Rancher and vanilla, and apple Jolly Rancher. And this one is more like a little butterscotchy. I'm digging deep. No, but I do like this one a lot better than the first one. All right, now, last one. Let's try it. Well, I'm just getting hardly anything on the nose. I think this is a more balanced bourbon for what it is. I mean, a little more vanilla. But this one has some more of the apple and pear kind of more balanced in there. So yeah, C, whichever one C is it's more like a what I would consider a bourbon to be. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, vanilla. It's there now. This one is off-putting to me. I don't like it at all. It does not taste like bourbon. It tastes like a flavored liqueur or whatever. This one, for what it is, but the butterscotch kind of overwhelms everything. Doing them like side by side like this, but this is a more very few noted balanced bourbon. C is. But if we were just sitting around and this is all we had was, or you know, if we were going camping and I forgot to bring the good stuff and we were stopping by some low-end liquor store and all we could get was just base stuff, either one of these I think I would be pretty content with, but this is my favorite. Okay. Wow. Yeah, that's not bad, not bad. That butterscotchy little buttery flavor in there is not horrible. It's actually pretty good. And it's lending itself to, yeah, there's no finish on these, okay? Let's not even go there. But, I mean, they just go bam, and that's it. But yeah, that's not bad. I'm getting some firing across the palate. I have to do this one again just because. That one's not good. I really do not like A. I don't care which one it is either. A, B, C. I'm gonna go C, B, A. But I tell you what, this middle one here is really growing on me a little bit for that one note I'm getting is pretty good, you know. Yeah, that little buttery note is not bad. Yeah, I don't know, I'm kind of mixed between these two right here. You know what, I may switch. I may go B, A, or B, C, and then A. Yeah. Man, the more I drink on this, if I'm just not gonna get some really, really good deep bourbon notes anyway, I might as well get a really good one note. And I think that's what I'm getting here. This one, it has more notes to it, but they're kind of watery. But this is, the buttery note is coming through really, really well. I actually think I'm enjoying this one the most. So I'm gonna go B, C, A, but these are really close. All right, let's see what we have. All right. Okay. Yep, all right. Okay, so I did not like Evan Williams at all. At all. I don't like it. Evan Williams, goodbye. Yuck. All right, Jim Beam is C, and Benchmark is B. And so I think I'm doing well cooking with that Benchmark. It does have a more robust note to it. This is kind of, the bourbon notes are there. You can tell if this was cared for, and we know, you know, we have Bookers and Bakers and that type of stuff. It's building from a good base, but this is just too watery. It's just too watered down. And you can taste the water over top of those notes. I mean, it is like my ice melted. and this is what I'm left with. This Benchmark, yeah, has a really good buttery base to it compared when you're drinking them like this. I really would enjoy it. And Benchmark is absolutely the bottom dollar one out of all three of these. I think a 750 milliliter bottle on these two is around 16, 17 bucks, and Benchmark is $10 for 750 milliliters. So in this battle, the lowest end won the battle, right? So, yeah, Buffalo Trace, go figure. So there it is. She put them in this order, CAB, C-A-B. I didn't even remember what order I gave them to her, but I gave them to her with Jim Beam, Evan Williams, Benchmark, C-A-B, all right? And they came out like this. All right. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Benchmark, baby, Benchmark. And in a pinch, Jim Beam, the base bourbon. It's not horrible. It's not horrible. It's not good. But yeah, if you want to just get a bottom dollar bourbon, there you go. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up as always. Please like and subscribe. Hit the bell down there for notifications, and I promise I'll keep making you these videos.